Why did you go into hairdressing in the first place versus going straight into crafts?
When I was a teenager in the 90s,
Yeah.
I really wanted to do a creative career. I didn't really come from the best of backgrounds.
Okay.
I grew up in a really lovely area, but I grew up on the one council estate in that area.
Fine.
And didn't have a great family life and kind of had to move out of home quite early on in life.
Right.
And as such, I needed a job, and
I see. Yeah.
to get a job, I wanted something that was creative, and at that time, the only creative outlet really was hairdressing. I went off to work at this company, and it was amazing, and I kind of became this quirky little hairdresser apprentice.
Yeah.
And it was great actually as a queer person as well,
Yeah.
in rural Surrey in the middle of the 90s, becoming a hairdresser and creative. It was such a great part of my life to do. I became a hairdresser because it was the only choice, really, if you wanted to be creative.
How did you go from hairdresser to marquetry artist, and why?
And why? And why? I was a hairdresser for 26 years. But in that time, I had always spent my free time and free money doing courses, buying materials, buying books, researching craft, because I always wanted to make things with my hands. And then good old COVID and the pandemic came, and hairdressers weren't very useful for a while. And it meant that I could sit at home and come up with a new project. So I went online, grabbed some little pieces of leather just to see what I could make, and then absolutely fell in love with it. Once we went back to work, I was still quite quiet, so I was sitting there at the wash basins, sewing, doing key rings, doing wallets, making bags. It was a really, really great way to calm my mind in a time where the world was a little bit chaotic, and quite scary. And actually, craft has always been a bit of a kind of anchor for me, I guess.